The Army has released some new information about the Army Green Service Uniform, otherwise sometimes referred to as the pinks and greens. So if you want to know all the new details, stick around. What's up, my friends? Welcome to an all-new video. I'm U.S. Army veteran Christopher Chaos, and in this video we're going to be talking about this memorandum that the United States Army has put out that outlines some good details about the Army Green uniform, the Army Green Service uniform, the pinks and greens, however you know them as. We're gonna be talking about some of the things that are outlined in this memorandum as far as timelines and when you're gonna get them, all that kind of awesome, amazing stuff. So if you are interested in learning about the United States Army, maybe to join or just to feel some curiosity and you are not yet subscribed to this channel, think about clicking on the subscribe button. Also click on the bell to get alerts as soon as new videos go live, to include the live streams and become a part of that awesome notification platoon. So let's dive into this memorandum. Let's talk about what is inside of this and what maybe you want to know about. Now, if you're not familiar what the heck the pinks and greens are and all that kind of stuff like that, I won't bore you with long, lengthy, in-depth kind of thing about it. I've done some other videos on that. You've probably seen some stuff. You can find some stuff on it. It's just a new style uniform that they're going to add to, to maybe make it to where soldiers wear like a daily uniform, right? So they don't always wear the camouflage uniform, and they're kind of bringing back some old school stuff, right? So I'm not going to dive too deep into it. Check out my channel, check out other resources to learn more about the pinks and greens and the Army Green Service uniform if you need to. Otherwise, we're just going to move forward with when this stuff starts getting implementing, what's inside this memo, and all that kind of stuff. Now, the memo that I currently have is just a screen capture from someone that posted a screenshot of the memorandum that they received in like this Army community area online. So it's not the greatest quality. Possibly by now there's a better quality out there in a PDF format that the Army's officially released. There's nothing about this that's secret. It's not like this was some kind of leaked information or anything like that. It's just the Army hasn't officially put it out to the public, even though it is for public release, because at the memorandum it is already says for distribution. So it just officially hasn't come out as I'm making this video, so I'm working off the screen capture. But it looks like this memorandum came out on the 2nd of June, so it's really new, and we'll kind of detail all the things that are inside of it. Now, not every single thing, because a lot of the stuff inside of here is things like how far below the shoulder does the unit patch need to be sewn on the green uniform. You don't care about that kind of stuff, right? If you do, then you're probably very few of you that do care about that. You probably care about things like when can I start wearing them, when am I gonna get them? And that's what we're gonna kind of outline inside of this video. So let's answer the first possible question you may have, which is, when can I wear the Army Green uniform, or officially the AGSU, the Army Green Service uniform? Well, if you have one, you're actually authorized to wear it now. You're currently authorized to wear it. The Army says that it is authorized to wear, but that doesn't mean you can just show up tomorrow and be like, hey, the Army said I can wear it, so I'm gonna show up to work tomorrow wearing the Army Green Service uniform, again, assuming you have one. Because it's how it's gonna still work. Yes, the Army has officially announced that yes, if you have one, you're authorized to wear it, but then it kind of still has to trickle down to the units. The units now have to authorize soldiers to wear them. So now your unit has to say, yes, you guys can wear these on select days, whatever days, for certain purposes, whatever the case might be, because you can't just show up and wear this stuff. Usually the uniform is all about uniformity, right? So especially like things like, if it's cold out and if one person is wearing their Gore-Tex jacket, then everybody needs to be wearing their Gore-Tex jacket for formation, right? Outside of formation, they usually don't care. So it's gonna still come down to the unit level as far as when you can start wearing it and all that kind of stuff. And if you have it, then it might be a thing. Yes, if you guys have it, then on Friday for this class, if you wanna wear it, then you can wear it. So it'll still kind of trickle down to the unit level and as far as who even has them anyways. Now your next question might be, well, when can I purchase the Army Green Service uniform if I would like to purchase one? Now the memorandum outlines that third quarter fiscal year of 2020, so that third quarter is from April 1st of 2020 to June 30th of 2020, so that means either they're currently in stores or they're going to be very soon, as third quarter is about to run out the 30th of June. So it is possible that maybe it's already available in your local store at your local base, if you're on base, if you're in the Army. Now, if you're someone who is not yet in the Army but wants to join the Army at some point in time, and you want to know, well, when will I get issued the Army Green Service uniform? Well, that memorandum states that it'll be issued in the 4th quarter of 2020, 4th quarter being from July 1st of 2020 to the 30th of September of 2020. So possibly if you're gonna be going through basic training or AIT during that time frame, you might get issued it then. If you obviously come in after that time frame, then you should be definitely getting issued the Army Green Service uniform according to that memorandum. And then for those of you that are maybe currently in the Army, don't have the Army Green Service uniform or whatever the case might be, and you wanna know, well, when do I have to have one by? When is it going to be mandatory that I have a Army Green Service uniform? Well, the official mandatory date is going to be 1 October of 2027. Now, you may not even be in the Army at that point anymore. You may have already gotten out, depending on what your kind of goals are for how long you want to stay in the Army, but by 1 October 2027, you must own a set of Army Green Service uniforms. So that gives you plenty of time to save up or even get out of the Army, I guess, if you don't want to wear it, right? Before it's mandatory that you must own a set of Army Green Service uniforms. And I guess I said plural, but it's usually just one set, right? The jacket, the pants, the full set, right? You just have to have one pair of that. Now, also with that timeline, as far as the mandatory date that you must have it, acronyms start changing, all right? So all the way up until October 1st of 2027, it'll still be known as the Army Green Service Uniform, or the AGSU, and then the blue uniform, which is the more formal one, will still be known as the Army Service Uniform, or the ASUs. But when it becomes mandatory on October 1st of 2027, it will change acronyms. So the Army Green Service Uniform will then switch to the ASU, or the Army Service Uniform, and the blues will then switch to the ABU, for the Army Blue Uniform. So get ready for some acronym changes in 2027, I guess. Now, for those of you that are not aware, right, if you don't get issued the Army Green uniforms, right, you're not issued those and you're upset that you're gonna have to purchase these out of pocket, well, the Army actually pays you to resupply on uniforms. You get a clothing allowance every year on your anniversary, whatever payday that falls on or whatever the next closest payday to that anniversary, you're gonna receive a clothing allowance that's supposed to be utilized for buying new uniforms, replacing your service uniform or your camouflage uniform or some boots or whatever the case might be. Your first one is usually pretty small, but you're not gonna have to worry about that, right? If you're probably right now only in less than a year in the Army or whatever the case is, and you need to buy one, you're not required to buy one unless your unit for some whatever reason wants to make it mandatory, but by Army regulation it's not mandatory until 2027. So you have some time to kind of save up. Plus, as you get further along in your Army career, each year it starts to kind of increase for your clothing allowance. You receive more and more because you're probably wearing out more uniforms. So you can always save a little bit of here, a little bit of there, or even as you've progressed a little bit further in the Army, maybe been in for 4 years or whatever, your clothing allowance may be enough to be able to buy a Army service uniform, the Army Green Service Uniform. And actually, a lot of soldiers don't even use that extra clothing allowance to buy extra uniforms. They usually just use it for an extra paycheck or an extra party funds or whatever the case is. But technically, that's what it's supposed to be for. Now, going through a few more details as far as like the uniform, a lot of people want to know, is there still going to be a short sleeve version and a jacket version? There is. So there is still in this list of the items for the green uniform, it does have a short sleeve shirt, and it talks about the variations as far as how to wear it and everything like that. So there is still like a Class A and Class B style uniform to it, where one version wears the full-on jacket and everything like that, and another version doesn't include the jacket and just has the button-up shirt with the short sleeves. A lot of people have also been kind of curious about the headgear. You've seen some photos with a couple different versions of the headgear, one with the garrison cap and one with like the old school type of, I don't know, some people call it the bus driver cap or whatever. But on this list, I only see one version of the headgear in here, even though I've seen photos from some of the testing or whatever of them wearing the bus driver type of style hat. But on the official list anyways, it actually lists it with that garrison cap, officially the Heritage Green 564 garrison cap. It does still have things like the necktie, you still have the dress socks, you have a leather gloves for certain occasions. And one of the cool things that I like that's listed on here is an optional option that you can add to the uniform that is authorized is the bomber jacket. They actually have a few kind of cold weather options. You have the Heritage Green windbreaker, Heritage Green sweaters, you have a maternity version, there's also a Heritage Green cold weather cap, you have a Heritage Green Eisenhower jacket worn like the AGSU coat, and then like I said, the bomber jacket, which is leather. So there are a few different kind of cold weather options that, might be pretty cool, especially if you want to rock the old school leather bomber jacket. You can also utilize an umbrella while wearing this uniform. Some of you old school veterans may remember back in the day, only females were allowed to carry umbrellas. They at some point changed that to where men and women, when only in the Army service uniform, could carry an umbrella. A lot of people still don't, but in this one it still does outline that it is authorized while wearing the Army Green Service uniform that you can utilize an umbrella, just not in formation. Also, if for whatever reason there's some senior NCOs watching this video and you're curious about DA photos, well, it actually states that all the way up until the 30th of September 2027, you can make a choice to either wear the blue uniform or the green uniform when taking a DA photo. For those of you that are not familiar with the purpose of a DA photo, I won't get into that in this video, maybe some other time or something. but it's usually only higher ranking individuals that have to do those kind of things. Now, just as a quick thing for anybody who may not be familiar with the Army green uniform or may have some confusion about the purpose of it, right? It is not intended to replace the blues. The blues are just going to be simply a more formal thing that is only for formal events, maybe the board, maybe a ball, maybe, certain other things where they need a formal uniform to wear. The greens are intended for select individuals, select moments to be a daily wear uniform. So if the situation does not call for them to wear the camouflage uniform, maybe they're gonna be in class, maybe they're gonna be in some kind of school, maybe they're gonna be in the office or whatever, then they would wear the green uniform and be a little bit more like a business suit almost in a way, a little bit more professional kind of attire. Individuals that are working in the motor pool, doing some kind of training or doing something that may get them dirty or have to do a lot of physical activity, they wouldn't be wearing that in that specific day. They'd be wearing the camouflage uniform for those purposes. Now, how often will this get utilized? We'll have to wait and see. I can see certain MOSs, certain kind of, individuals wearing it quite often. People that work inside the PAC, for the PAC clerks, for the people inside of like S1, S2, those kind of things, people in legal, certain other individuals that work in an office type of environment, and then everybody else, it might be a situation where, hey, on Friday we've got this class coming up, so the uniform for that class is gonna be the Army Green Service uniform for that class. So we'll see how it kind of gets mixed into there and how often soldiers end up actually wearing the uniform, but this memorandum now kind of officially outlines the timeline, the dates as far as when you're gonna get them, when you need to have them by, and a few other things inside there. Either the memorandum is already out for you guys to check out, or it may come out soon, hopefully, probably. In a better version, I won't share the version that I have. It's kind of a little bit grainy, a little bit blurry, but it does outline a lot of other things if you really want to know the full list of everything that is required with the uniform, the exact measurements as far as how the unit patches go, what you can have on the uniform, what you can't have on the uniform, all those kind of things are outlined in that memorandum. What are your thoughts on the Army Green Service uniform, the timeline inside of here as far as when you have to have them, when they're gonna be issued, all that kind of stuff. Maybe you have some questions. Drop those down in the comment section down below, or you can even hit up the Discord channel. You can find that down in the description box down below, as well as a bunch of other links to social media and all sorts of things. So check out those resources, leave me some comments down below. If you like this video though, hit that thumbs up for me, I greatly appreciate it. I'm Christopher Chaos, this way. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.